In the lawless frontiers of the American West, where towns rose and fell overnight and justice rode on horseback, one name struck more fear than any other: John Wesley Hardin. Many outlaws became legends through exaggeration, but Hardin earned his reputation the hard way. By the time he was 21, he had already killed more men than most gunfighters faced in a lifetime. Historians still call him the most dangerous outlaw who ever lived. Born in 1853 in Texas, Hardin grew up during the violent years after the Civil War. Texas was filled with former soldiers, drifters, and armed ranchers settling grudges with bullets. Hardin's father was a Methodist preacher, but the young boy had a violent streak. At only 15 years old, he killed his first man, claiming it was self-defense. From that moment on, Hardin's life entered a dark spiral. Unlike many famous gunfighters such as Billy the Kid or Jesse James, Hardin wasn't a leader of a gang or a folk hero. He was something much more unpredictable, a solo gunslinger, drifting from town to town, leaving trouble wherever he went. He had a quick temper, unmatched skill with a revolver, and absolutely no fear of killing. He once wrote in his autobiography, "I never killed a man who didn't need killing," but the truth was far more complicated. Hardin became wanted in multiple counties and was repeatedly pursued by Texas lawmen known as the Texas Rangers. Whenever they got close, Hardin escaped with raw instinct and deadly accuracy. His speed with a gun became legendary. Witnesses claimed he could draw, aim, and fire before most men even touched their holsters. Some stories tell of him splitting playing cards with bullets just to prove a point, though whether he needed to or not. He often proved it on human targets. One of the strangest episodes of his life shows just how dangerous and reckless he could be. During one of his many drunken nights at a hotel, Hardin complained that the man in the next room snored too loudly. Instead of waking him or asking to move rooms, Hardin simply fired through the wall. The bullet killed the sleeping man instantly. The story shocked even the Wild West, and from that moment, his infamy spread everywhere. Hardin wandered through Texas, Louisiana, and the Indian Territory, constantly staying ahead of the law. Wherever he went, shootouts followed. Newspapers began calling him the deadliest man alive. His encounters weren't robberies or planned crimes. Most were explosions of rage, sudden confrontations, or attempts to escape capture. In one famous fight, he single-handedly survived an ambush by 3 men, killing all of them before they landed a single shot. But even the fastest gun slowed down eventually. In 1877, the Texas Rangers finally caught up with him. Hardin tried to run again, but this time he couldn't fire fast enough, was arrested and sentenced to 25 years in prison for murder. While behind bars, Hardin studied law, read the Bible, and even claimed to regret his violent past. But his temper never really disappeared. In 1894, after serving 17 years, Hardin was released. He returned to a changed West one with growing towns, railroad lines, and stricter law enforcement. The world of gunslingers was fading. Hardin tried to rebuild his life as a lawyer in El Paso, Texas, but old habits resurfaced. He drank heavily, gambled recklessly, and tangled with dangerous people. His final conflict came in 1895. Hardin got into a dispute with a local lawman named John Selman, a man almost as unpredictable as Hardin himself. The tension grew until one August night when Selman saw Hardin playing dice in a saloon. Without warning, Selman stepped inside, aimed his pistol at the back of Hardin's head, and fired. The legendary outlaw died instantly, collapsing face first onto the barroom floor. John Wesley Hardin was 42 years old. He left behind a trail of violence unlike any in the history of the West. Over 20 confirmed kills, possibly more. Some claim he was a cold-blooded murderer. Others say he was shaped by a violent era where survival demanded a quick draw and an iron nerve. One thing is certain. When historians talk about the deadliest outlaw of the Wild West, the first name they mention is always the same: John Wesley Hardin. The man feared by gunslingers, sheriffs, and even Texas Rangers.